Hello, welcome to Studio Nicole. I'm Nicole, and I'm so happy that you're here. I have to admit, I'm feeling kind of low energy today. I don't know what's going on with me, really. I just haven't had a lot of creative energy. Yeah, I don't know. I think I just have a lot of things that I need to do, and those like to-do lists are kind of weighing on me a little bit, and I'm feeling just a little overwhelmed. Maybe overwhelmed isn't the right word. Um, I don't know. I just don't want to do the stuff that I have to do. And usually I procrastinate by getting into my studio and doing this instead. But today that is just not working. I'm kind of feeling just stuck. I don't know. So, what I'm going to do today instead, maybe later I will feel like attempting this cascade journal. I want to decorate it. I'm just stuck. That's the word. I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping later today I'll feel a little bit better. But for right now, I just wanted to try and push through and do something creative, even though I'm not really feeling it right now. So I'm going to do a very low energy creative project, just a few quick minutes. And I thought I would bring you along with me because I'm sure I can't be the only one who has days like this where you're in your studio, you're at your desk, and you just don't know where to go, right? You're just um in a rut, I guess. So I'm going to use this elegant writer. It is a calligraphy pen. You can buy these at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or online. It I've never tried this with other pens, but I know that this one works really well. So I'm going to use this, and I have just a piece of watercolor paper. It's pretty lightweight watercolor paper. You don't have to have anything, really heavy duty or high quality for this project. I'm just going to use this pen and I'm going to draw some kind of squiggly designs. I'm going to um, like overlap the lines and just make a design on the page. You can do angular lines if you want, or you can do swoopy, curvy lines, whatever you feel comfortable with, or whatever you like. You could do a whole series of these and have different kinds of designs. Right, so that's my swoopy design. I might want to add in, I kind of like, I've got these kind of like elongated circle, almost like a balloon shape. Here, let me bring this down a little more. Oh, I do have some weird shadows today, don't I? So I have these kind of swoopy balloon shapes happening repeatedly across the page. So I'm gonna lean into that and I'm gonna add a few more of those. I'm just gonna add, that kind of looks like a flower. I'm gonna add them at the intersections. I'm gonna add them inside the shape. I'll add them next to other shapes, some different sized ones. Mm, one inside of another one there. I like that. This one is like a whole one, but it's kind of bisected by this line. Hmm. Hmm. All right. For now, I'm going to just leave it like this. I'm not really trying for anything in particular, just an interesting shape on the page. I like to have repetitive shapes, even if I'm drawing something kind of random. I like the repetitiveness of that. So I am now going to just take a paintbrush and some clear water. Actually, my water is not entirely clear. It's kind of messy. But there's nothing, there's no like, I'm not dipping into paint at all. I'm just getting a wet paintbrush. I'll leave it here so you can see. I'm not using any paint at all. I'm just using water. And I'm just going to release the ink. This Elegant Writer pen really is not waterproof. And so um, we're going to use that characteristic to help us sort of paint without paint. So, can you see? Just release the ink, just a little bit of water. It's just water. But then when you brush up against that ink line, it releases the ink, and then you've got some color. And I'm just going to pick random areas on the design to paint. And I'm just painting with plain water, releasing the ink that's already there. Some areas I'll paint inside, some areas I might paint outside. Let me come down even farther so you can really see how this is going to work. You see what's happening there? And now I've got some of that ink on my paintbrush. So if I go in here, um, I'll be able to kind of move it around on the page. By choosing which areas you want to leave white and which ones you want to pull the ink into the space, you can create some really interesting designs. I always like to go for some contrast. So, for example, on this side of this flower shape, I outlined it with the ink. So on this side, I'm going to do the ink on the inside of the flower petals just to create some contrast between the two halves of this flower shape. I like to have inked areas up against uninked areas, if that makes sense. Well, and so this really doesn't take a lot of creative energy. I don't have to think too hard about it. It's very low pressure. If I don't like how it turns out, no big deal. I just wasted a few minutes of my time and a little bit of cardstock. But if I do like how it turns out, then I can add it to a little series. There's a lot of water there. If I do like how it turns out, I can just add it to a little series of watercolor scribbles. And go right across that center line, like I do the opposite of what I did over there. Maybe I'll fill in these two, and then I'll fill out the outside part around this one. You don't even really have to be super precise, honestly. It's pretty forgiving in terms of, uh, having to be really, really careful. I mean, if you get a little bit of ink into one of the other spaces, then you just color in that space too, and it becomes part of the design. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I do have a, I can't really do anything about the crazy shadow. Mm. I'm not talking a whole lot while I'm doing this. I'm just, it's kind of meditative to just watch what the ink does on the page when you put down the water. Just wait and see how it looks. You never really know how it's going to turn out when you start, but it's a journey and it's always fun. It's always fun to see what happens. That's the kind of art I like. Very low pressure art. Hmm. Are we done? I feel like I want to do some more. So here's what we do. If we want to do some more, we just take our pen and we add some detail back in and we give ourselves more to draw, more to color. Let's see, we can do one right there. We got some big open space here. Um, I can give ourselves a bunch there. What if we do? Oh, we need another one there to fill in that space completely. I like that. We could do some over here. I'm really liking this design, these little like flower petal-y designs. Mm. And by using the same repetitive design over and over again, you really can't go wrong. Like you don't have to think too hard about where you're going to put it or what you're going to do. Just kind of pick a pattern, pick a design, and I'm going into anywhere where the lines already meet. And then I'm just adding the same little leafy, petally, flowery, whatever we want to call this. I'm just adding the same repetitive line in multiple places. And then I'm going to go in and color it in. Just release that ink. And we get even more variation and more color on the page. You can make dots, you can make lines, you can make squares. There's all kinds of ways that you can just use basic doodling to help you release your creativity when you're feeling stuck and you don't have a lot of energy. I like this as it is. I'm going to stop here, I think, and I'm just going to leave this on the page. But I do want to show you, like, this is one that I did fairly recently. This is a little different. It's the same exact style. I didn't do anything different. I just used the Elegant Writer and a paintbrush with plain water. But you can see that you can create a different kind of design. And if I keep doing these, I'll have a whole series of them, and maybe I can bind them into a little book or something. I don't know what I'll use them for. Art doesn't have to be useful to be art. It's enough that it helped me to feel a little bit creative today. It gave me a few minutes of meditative play. I love it, and I hope that you guys find it helpful on days when you're not feeling very creative either. Thanks for joining me in the studio today, folks. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.